Hi, Teresa. Okay, I'm going to run through this. I'm going to use Firebug to show you a couple of tweaks you can make. So let me just scrunch this down. So you're probably looking for something like this here, where the logo does this here. Yeah, I see a quick. I'm going to refresh, and then I'm going to show you in Firebug where in the style sheets and what style sheet to do this. So let me just refresh. We'll get an approximation of where we're at. Okay, something like that. Okay, now what we're going to do here is the logo image. I'm going to send you a style. What I want you to do is I'll send you a style in the ticket, copy and paste it into your styles.css. You'll see the image max width of 100%. We want to target the graphic logo specifically, because really what we want to do is we want to say we want to have a style of width of 100%. Okay, like so. And you see what happens here is the graphic logo goes that, but smaller images go bigger to 100%, and we don't really want that because the logo is larger. So what we're going to do is I'm going to create a style here for you. We're going to target the graphic logo image specifically and set it to 100%. Okay, so I'll send you this style right here. So basically we're just saying graphic logo image. So this is the graphic logo div, obviously. That's the image. Set the width to 100%. So that way it won't affect the other images on the page, because you can simply change it, but we don't want to do that if we don't have to. It depends on the size of the logo. Okay, so let's go back to here, and if I were to, just for fun, say width of, for example. Okay, so that takes care of that. The positioning of your graphic logo, I'm going to suggest you go to the responsive.css about line 41, change the left position to 0. And here's what will happen. You'll get the graphic logo will line up and center nicely. And then what will happen is as it scales, you see it scales up and down. And of course, because we're targeting the 100% for the graphic logo only, these will remain the same size. So let me just refresh that. That takes care of the logo. Okay, so appointment left. You know what I'm going to suggest we do here? And here's a trick, is these elements here, if you take them and position them relatively, set the width to 100%, then they'll stack on top. But if you want float left and right, let me just check. Cool. Okay, so this you want right, this you want left. Okay, so this is the custom component. Okay, so go into the responsive.css, line 187, change left to right. Okay, and you see this here, right? Okay, so where are we at here? Let me just play around with this for a second. Okay, so you're wanting something more like this here, right? Okay, so what we have to do here is you need to find the custom component in responsive and add a text align right. Because what happens is this is called, this is styled as a, let me show you here, the A tag, right? If I can make this visible here. The A tag right down here, we look up here, it's displayed as a block, because you actually, if we actually refresh the page here, and I go inspect element with Firebug, see the A tag here, it says display block. That means it's going to take up the entire width. So when I hover over that A tag there, right, I need a bigger video window. See how it takes up the whole space, the whole width of the page? So that means no matter what, you can't position it anymore because the entire block is set to the full page. But the component itself, you can now use a text align right because it is, and that will shove anything in there over to the right. Now, supposedly, let's see what we have going on here. That is the, no, it's this guy right here, the Google thing. That's an image, okay, and it's wrapped within the H4 and then the optional content. Okay, so here's our optional content right here in the responsive.css. So what we could do here is, you see we have a position of absolute right of 2%. Let's change this to left. Okay, and then we have text align left. Okay, now it goes all the way over there. So your responsive, line 182, optional content, left 2%, and text align left important, right? So then the only thing you got left is you got this get in touch here, which you can move over to the right if you want to move over to the right, right? If that's what you're wanting to do. And with this optional content right here, you can also change the top position, you know, to move it up and down a little bit, right? Because it has a top position right here of 196, so you can make it 150 px, right? And that's going to see that it moves it up on the page a little bit. Now I've disappeared it underneath everything else, so you know, moves it around. Okay, this green banner, actually what it is just a background graphic for the footer container. It's not a background for the actual individual link. What here? Think about it this way. When I design the container, I've got the green bar and the blue bar. That's one graphic image, right? This whole green and blue thing right here. That's one big image. That's how I can get the spirally sunlight in here and the bit of checker. And when it shrinks down, I've just eliminated it because and I can't even see the links in here anymore, so I don't know if you just hid them or not. But there we go there. Yeah, but I can't even come up with a thought on how to do a background. You can do a background color, it wouldn't look that good. But what was designed to happen is they were just going to stack one on top of the other. But this whole thing here is just one big graphic. It's not something I can repeat for each individual heading background, not without rebuilding the entire bottom. And I'm not even sure how I do that. To make that work. But yeah, the idea with this is when it collapses down, everything just goes into one column. So the top one might get the green banner, the next ones wouldn't. Yeah, the max width setting, right? Now this one right here, like I said, that's the thing is when you're using with mobile, which is always fun, is you can target a specific image like I did with the graphic. Like in this case here, if you wanted to set a max width, right, you can actually target the specific image. In this case, you would use Firebug. You go to the image, right, find the image, you go copy CSS path, and then just in a blank style sheet, what I do is I paste it in, and okay, so and I just take the last little bit here. So you could actually say center pick a image, and then you can just specify a width or a max width, because the max width is 100%. So in your responsive, you could go max width of, 300 px, and then margin. What you need to do if you do that, I'll send this in the ticket as well. Margin left auto and margin right auto. Okay. So I'll send these two bits of code and try that out and play around with it, see what happens.